It's Ep.2. That's right, it's us, we're back. Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate podcast, but that's not us, because we don't know anything about ice skating. But that doesn't stop us from speaking about what we do speak about, and that's movies. One movie in particular, Blade.
I can't ice skate, that's not true. I'm not, and I can't. So
that's more lore for the listener at home to be able to triangulate Elijah's position. It's me, it's Kieran, I'm back, and I'm joined as always by the aforementioned Elijah.
That's me, hello.
And Grant.
Hello.
Perfect. Good intro, boys. Good stuff. As mentioned, we're covering Blade today. Sinners is out, so we're talking about something different. Stephen Norrington's 1998 vampire extravaganza starring Wesley Snipes, Chris Christopherson, Stephen Dorff and Donald Logue, who was mentioned, I believe, a long time ago in a different episode of a different podcast. But at any rate, before we get to that, I can't remember when, but that's some deep lore for you. Before we get to that, it's time for the news. The news. What have you got for us?
Not much. I was scraping through before we recorded, and I said there might be no news this week. And then you said there has to be news, so I found some news.
Okay, good.
Since I was forced to find news, I was forced to do my one job for this podcast. Revenge of the Sith is back in theaters. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I plan to, but I haven't yet. For its 20th anniversary, came out in 2006, 2005.
I've been seeing a lot of online discourse about Star Wars Episode 3. That explains
most people
why.
saying it's good, at least in my circles.
Mine have been saying the opposite. Whatever algorithm I'm part of doesn't like Episode 3. And I don't agree with them.
Oh, well, they're wrong. It is good. It's a good movie.
My social networks only give me stuff that I don't agree with.
That's true.
It's torture.
a lot of your Twitter experience is just you seeing things that you're like, that's wrong. That's wrong. I hate that. That's wrong.
Literally. I don't understand. But then I suppose I don't even engage with it. But
you get weird advertisements on like YouTube or anything. Like mine are like fucking the holders for like tissues in like a bathroom. It's like, you want to put this up in your business? I'm like, what? I don't own a business. And the other one's like, someone you've definitely got to get money back in your car. I'm like, you don't know me at all.
Wait, you should see some of the ads I get. I found out that if you click the little ellipsis on the side of the ad and then hit not interested, you can just skip it even if there's no skip thing. And I've been getting some wild ads. I get some fucking ads for like Chinese egg cups on Temu, but specifically one product from one company. It's very bizarre.
By egg cup?
Like an egg cup, a cup for holding one's egg.
Yeah. How you going to dip your fucking soldiers without an egg cup, mate?
Aye.
Huh?
You know, like meant to understand.
Do you know what a soft-boiled egg is? You know, like you get like
yeah.
It's like a little egg cup. You just sit the egg in the cup, and you crank the top off the egg, and then you can open up and dip shit in the egg, in the yolk.
Seems like a hassle.
I mean,
in fairness, it was an array of 3 of them. It was for if you wanted 3 soft-boiled eggs.
Sounds like it's made for our friend.
Our good friend of the podcast, Robbie. Yeah. Surname unknown.
Yeah.
Well,
back from the dead.
To you. Not you, but you, the listener.
Yeah. To you, the listener. We know his surname, but you don't.
Yeah.
Unless
and his middle
name. Unless you're up to date with the lore. And then you will know his surname.
I get strange Chinese adverts for AI. Do you get those? It's like, you can get this new AI dog. It's like, it says like a robot puppy, and it's clearly like an advert that's just completely AI. This is not a real advert, and that's not a real toy you can get. And it just looks like an AI dog running around, but it looks, it would fake it. It would fool an old person. It's just weird. Or the one that's like, do you have loads of spots all over your face? Here, you can buy this little bag of like colored stars you just stick on your face over your spot, like jewelry, like accessorize for your spots.
I've been getting them on TikTok.
Yeah, and then it's this, and then the music is just like a Chinese person singing another song, like fucking Millionaire by Khalees and Andre 3000.
Yeah. Oh, that's alright. Yeah. Have either of you seen Gerber? on TikTok or other social media platforms.
Gerbert?
Gerbert, yeah. It's these videos that are Chinese recipe videos that have been overdubbed with an AI voice of some sort of strange child's sort of puppet character. It's deranged. It's absolutely unhinged. The music sounds like an anxiety attack, and he's going on about fucking put in the noodles, chili oil. Repeats everything twice. It's fucking insane.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good digression, boys.
Before we carry on, I forgot to wish you all a happy National No Pants Day.
Whoa.
I'm wearing pants.
I'm wearing joggy bottoms. Do they count as pants?
No. Okay, fine. Well, we also have National Space Day, and we're all in space.
What do you mean those don't count as pants?
I'm not wearing any pants underneath them.
I think what they mean is fucking nothing waist down. Free balling it.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
But, like...
Sorry to peel back the curtain there, listener.
Oh, well, we also... pants, to me, are, like...
Yeah, in Canada, pants are trousers. We get
mean...
it. But, like, we're talking about, like, just anything the waist down. Anything pantaloons adjacent.
There's some news. I could digress from that if you want to talk about Canadian politics, how the Tories lost the election.
I mean, you'd know. Tell us about it.
I would. Well, they were projected to win, like, huge, and then just over the last 3 months, they absolutely shit the bed and ended up losing, which is hilarious.
Good stuff.
Anyway, I don't mean to get political.
Yeah, Reform's doing the opposite here, apparently. I got a few adverts on my YouTube homepage saying that
bet you
Reform are
did.
winning seats. What are you trying to imply?
No, nothing. Nothing at all. Anyway, speaking of Star Wars.
National Space Day. Yeah, happy National Space Day, Star Wars.
Fucking hell, there you go. That's a bit of an element of synchronicity.
You keep saying national. Which country? My country or your country?
Well, it's NASA, so I'm guessing it's an American one.
So No Pants Day is also probably American.
I'm not going to look into it, but it's International Harry Potter Day, if you want.
Ugh.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
We'll take Space Day. Given that we're talking briefly about Star Wars, that's
How about
very
we settle
convenient.
on World Tuna Day? Let's meet in the middle. Who doesn't like tuna?
Alright, fair enough.
Alive or dead. Celebrate
it's a
the
good
fish.
source of protein, and it's a big old fish.
Yeah.
What's not to like? Good stuff.
Yeah.
What other news have we got?
The first Star Wars story that's supposed to take place after Rise of Skywalker has been announced.
Alright.
And it follows Finn and Janna, who are the only two black characters in that movie. Wait, no. Billy D. Williams is in it too.
That's right, yeah.
He's not going to be in this.
Which one's
Oh,
Janna?
great. Is it a film?
I don't know.
Oh, great.
They
Is
just
it?
said that
Who
the
is
script
who
is
Janna?
together for it. She was the black woman.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember Forrest Whitaker.
when
and
they
I
were-
remember Samuel L. Jackson
No.
and John
Those are
Boyega.
different movies.
That's it. No, but I'm talking about. I'm saying all the Star Wars ones.
In 9, when they go to the planet to find the crashed Death Star, and she rides the big horse.
I didn't
Oh,
see that.
yeah,
That's the
but
newest one.
aye.
Yeah. I never bothered.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It's
have
not very
bothered.
good.
It's not very good. The last bit is quite good.
Yeah, the Emperor's in it. Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
That bit's cool. But other than that, who cares?
Well, that's good. It's convenient that
Alright.
on Space Day you chose to get your news from StarWars.com.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Well, I felt it,
In the force.
Fair enough. Have we got
I actually
anything
got it
else?
from
Have we got
NASA.gov.
Oh, NASA.gov giving you your Star Wars.
Credit, put that in the description, please. All news from NASA.gov. I've got 2 more bits of news. I've got
Whoa.
1 movie news and 1 non-movie news. Which would you like first?
Give us the non-movie news so that we can end with something relevant.
Okay, I don't know if you heard this. It was kind of kept quiet. The Pope died.
Oh, he did?
Oh yeah.
That's right.
J.D. Vance killed him.
Pack it up, boys.
Yes. I don't mean to get political, but yeah, J.D. Vance did kill him.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be doing a big conclave and figuring out the next pope.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a tweet where it was the Black Cardinal, and they said if this guy gets made the next pope, we're going to see levels of racism that we didn't think were possible.
I saw that as well.
I saw that.
But it's not even like he's a really progressive pope. He's right up their alley. He doesn't like the gays. He doesn't like the abortion.
No,
He's a terrible man.
He wasn't. I mean, none of them.
no,
liked the
not
abortion.
Frank.
But he's not. That one, unless it was a different black cardinal. I can't
Stop
imagine.
calling my
there's very
people that
many.
one.
But the one you're speaking about isn't anti-gay.
Is he not?
Yeah, but
No.
I thought he was.
Pope Francis did a real FDR pack the court situation when he was Pope, and he really got rid of, he cut some chaff out of the Vatican.
Stalin-esque purge.
Yeah, he did. So a lot of
what
them
you
are,
want.
I mean, also, trying to plot the political leanings of Catholic cardinals is beyond the comprehension of
Yeah,
anyone on earth.
truly.
Baffling.
Baffling.
So stay tuned next week, and I'll let you know if they pick a new Pope.
That's great. Pope News, the new segment on Podcast 2. Well, rest in peace, Frankie boy. He was a good one.
About
as
as
far as
good
they go.
as you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Don't
the
tell
last-
don't tell my girlfriend, but I've ordered a magnetic adhesive sheet for my fridge because it's not magnetic and I want to put fridge magnets on it. And alongside that, I've bought a fridge magnet with the Pope's face on it.
Okay, yeah, very good.
just as a little aside.
Yeah.
That's
Can't wait to see
look
that
forward
next
to.
time I'm there.
I'll let you know how
know
that transpires.
I didn't know there was non-magnetic fridges.
Well, it's because there's like this is a bit that's getting.
Wait, hold on.
behind the
is
scenes.
this like one of those ones that's like built into the
It's got
unit? So it's
paneling.
inside the
It's
cover.
in the unit,
Yeah.
so it's not magnetic.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm with you.
maybe edit that bit out.
No, that stays. It's the most important part.
See, listener at home, see how much information about my abode you can piece together over the next umpteen episodes.
Final bit of news. Everyone remembers the movie Furiosa, right? We all saw
Vaguely,
it.
yeah.
Nope, didn't see it.
Okay. Two of us saw it. You know, for being on a movie podcast, you sure don't watch a lot of movies.
I watch more movies than you, dickhead.
It's true.
Sorry,
Yeah.
didn't deserve that.
I mean, that he is right. He is right. You don't watch you watch old movies, though. All
watch
you do is you
weird
rewatch movies and bad movies. You watch old and bad movies.
It's not true. I just watch, just movies. Like, that sounds cool, and I just go in blind.
And then you come out and you're like, that wasn't cool. That was bad, actually.
Yeah, but then sometimes you go out and it's like, that was dope.
Sometimes.
No, sometimes you go and you come out and you go, that was fine.
Yeah,
That's the best you're going to
That's
get.
also sometimes what happens.
Anyway, Furiosa was apparently, according to a report that Deadline released, a $120 million loss for Warner Brothers because Grant didn't go see it.
That's right.
Grant
That's
and
I do go a
everyone
lot.
else.
I never went to see it in theaters. I got it.
Oh.
I can't remember. I think I watched it on streaming. I watched Furiosa when I was in the midst of nicotine withdrawal, and I don't remember that film very favourably.
I like it. It was good.
Those are two unconnected statements.
Can
I mean,
you
they
like
were
anything
connected.
by that point in your life? Nicotine withdrawal.
I wasn't having a very good time,
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
that film didn't make it any better. I thought it was quite boring. But to each their own.
I'll still
It was
watch
almost the opposite of Fury Road, and that's not very good. But I digress.
We'll get into that another day when we watch that movie.
Yeah.
When, like, I don't know, some sort of racing movie comes out, maybe we'll do it.
Speed
I don't know.
Racer
I'll find
2.
some tenuous connection. Happy Feet 3.
Happy Feet 3. Yeah. Good stuff.
Anyway, that's all the news.
That's it. Speaking of a film that two of us have seen, let's talk about some films that only one of us have seen, or other things,
Maybe we
whatever
don't
we
know
want
that.
to speak about. In the Emmy Award nominated, just
Emmys.
nominated segment,
Yeah.
podcast segment of the year 2025, What You Watching? Watching. The segment in which we talk about things.
that we've seen.
That's
Or
all.
done.
Yeah,
We talk about whatever
Or
we
heard.
want.
Just much like the rest of the podcast.
Whatever we want to talk about, we get to take a moment and just speak about something that is only relevant to us and nobody else. Who would like to go first?
my list is very short.
Good.
My list consists of one film, so I'll start off with just the usual Monster Hunter, not worth mentioning. But I've been playing that Claire Obscure 33. That's good.
Oh, so that. Yeah.
Very
It's
enjoyable.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, having a
Yeah.
grand old time there.
Yeah. It's like if Dark Souls was a JRPG.
It's pretty much it. Yep. But it's very.
It's got
feels
Charlie
a lot
Cox
like
in it.
Lost Odyssey. Have you ever played Lost Odyssey?
It
Kinda
does
like
feel
that.
a lot like Lost Odyssey. You're right. It's that
You
sort
got
of
time
like,
counters and stuff, and that one had like the closing circles. I like it because I do love a parry and a counter. That's my thing. I love them.
It's true. It's one of his things.
It's one of my
fun.
things. Real life. That's why I keep flipping all those old women over in supermarkets. They reach over my shoulder. I'm like, wow! And they fucking down they go.
Do that?
I mean, if you come up on me from behind, you're getting flipped.
yeah.
But only if you're an old woman?
Well, they're the ones who are usually fucking comfortable reaching over your shoulder to get the fucking cheese or whatever they need so badly right
with
now.
The old osotogami and send them flying right over your shoulder.
Right,
well, they're old. If they don't get the cheese right now, they'll die.
Yeah, bones will give out.
They need the calcium.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Claire Obscura is good, isn't it? The parry window is absolutely fucking brutal. Like you get like 3 frames or something like that. Get it spot on.
I did that fucking right.
Yeah, literally. I've not played much of it, but I've already. But there's been some raised eyebrows at some of the hits that I've been taking. But I've got to get good, I suppose.
Yeah, and you will.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I'll go into my film now because it leads in with Kron, I'm guessing. I don't think Elijah saw it, but Sinners was fucking dope.
Oh. It certainly does lead with me. I have seen it.
I'm not going to spoil it
my list.
Elijah ain't seen it, but
it's a banger, isn't it?
Absolutely fucking great, yeah. That's a rad film.
It's a really, really good film.
I'm going to try to get out and see it this weekend.
I'd had it hyped up to the gills with everybody online saying that it was like the best thing ever and that. And I was going, I was a little bit skeptical when people are saying all that online. But that's a film that fucking delivered through and through. What a treat. There was points where I was just sat in this, because I saw it in the actual cinema. I was sat there, I mean, obviously, because it's not on streaming yet, and I was sat there just grinning away, watching it in IMAX. Like, stunning.
Yeah, it's a really, really fucking good film.
Yeah.
It's no spoilers or nothing, but like, the thing that it's advertised at is not like the biggest part of it. The lead up to it and the build up to characters and just general like acting and stuff is stellar. You know when they have a slow burn film and it's fucking trash? This is like a slow burn film, and if the thing that I went there to see never showed up, I would have still been happy.
Aye.
Like everything up to the moment where everyone goes see the film for. Which, I mean, it's in the trailers. The vampires attack, people. Well, now you know there's vampires in it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that. That's why we're watching this movie that we're going to talk about today.
Up until the point the vampires show up, it takes quite a long time, and it's just a fucking good film. At no point I was like, fucking come on, vampires. I was like, if this just carried on and it was just about these guys opening a fucking juke joint in the South, I'm like, I'd watch this.
That's saying something.
And I know, I don't usually just like, mundane misery, but it's great.
It was really good, yeah.
It's very good.
People were comparing it to From Dusk Till Dawn, and
I can see it.
It was like obviously it has like surface level comparisons, but the major comparison there isn't where you expect it to be.
Yes,
it's not like like
that. That's very
because there's a scene with feet in it.
No, because that would be Tarantino. He's like.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He wrote himself into sucking Salma Hayek's feet.
Yeah.
It's grizzly.
He did.
He's a sicko, man.
Fucking just put him himself
Registered
in there.
Sicko. Put him with Randy Pitchford. Send him to medieval times.
He's got the same kind of eyes.
Yeah. It's like that.
But yeah, it was great. Fucking performances were great. Like he's playing 2 roles, and it's like at no point when I'm like, oh, it's him and him. Like it just felt like 2 different people. He did that so well.
Yeah. Like I thought that at the time. I was like, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Like they were completely separate. Like in my head when I was watching, there was no like it didn't even like register to me that it was one person.
Yeah,
like, it was just forget it. Quality.
Like the first time I saw them, they stand next to each other, and the scene cuts to it, and you're like, oh yeah, he's playing both of them. And then after that, I never thought of it again. They were just 2 different people.
Yeah,
and I like the little thing they did. They gave them their own color scheme. That was cool. One had the blue hat and stuff, and one had the red hat and stuff. And that kind of like determined their personalities. It was like, oh yeah, I get it. Red is all passionate and fiery, and a bit wilder. Mm-hmm. The other one is fucking, he was a soldier. He's calm and collected, and he's all blue.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Grant, when we're together, because we look identical, obviously.
Yeah.
Who gets the red hat? Who gets the blue
I'm
hat?
wearing red all the time. I'm wearing red right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wearing yellow, but I don't want to wear a yellow hat.
It's because you're
what
a
does
coward.
yellow symbolize? Yeah, cowardice.
Yeah, cowardice.
Conscientious objection, sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Who would like to go next? Do you want to go next,
I'll go
Elijah?
next.
What have you got for us?
It kind of connects to you. We're just taking your stuff because, you didn't, but I did rewatch the whole first season of Andor in preparation for the second season. Incredible, best Star Wars.
Yeah, the best Star Wars.
And then
so good.
We watched the first 2 episodes of the new season, and we've got I think 2 more out now that we can get to at some point. But good, man, it's a good show.
Bonzo.
It is. It's a good show. Still good.
Just waiting for the rest of it to come out, and then I'll watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
Start again. 1 to 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've heard nothing about it except people complaining that there was a sexual assault scene in it, and they're like, "You've ruined Star Wars. You don't need to do that to show that they're bad. We already know that they're
I've seen some
bad.
very
You ruined
funny
it."
memes about that. Like,
That's
Darth
the only
Vader
thing I've heard
standing with
about
all the fucking Imperial lieutenants who's like, I find your lack of attendance in the mandatory sexual harassment training disturbing. Darth Vader wouldn't want that in the Empire.
Yeah, I've seen
Amazing
those,
stuff. Amazing stuff.
yeah. And while we were watching it, Crun and I were talking about how, like, people are like, oh, they made Star Wars woke, like they do with every new Star Wars thing, because that's, or every new thing ever. That's what people say now. And I was saying, like, it's not like they haven't. They had Twi'leks in every bit of Star Wars, probably since Return of the Jedi. We said there's been the implication of sex slavery and you know, sex workers and
very
like,
well
it's been in it
established
since
thing.
the start. We have an ongoing joke while watching Clone Wars that Obi-Wan Kenobi's a whoremonger.
Yeah, he's known in every whorehouse in Coruscant.
Across the galaxy.
Across the galaxy, that's right.
Like, it's a known thing that this is part of Star Wars. So, you know, people... But as we know, once something is introduced, it takes away everything previously, as we established last week.
Did we see that, or was that in the following episode? Like, is that like?
I don't think we've seen that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought that what we like. There's a bit that sort of alludes to that kind of thing, but it was awfully tame for folk to be moaning about. So presumably it's not that. Stay tuned for the graphic scene of sexual violence that's
it's
to come.
Irreversible.
Oh God!
Yeah. My
Andor
God, that'd
pushes
be
boundaries. We'll see.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's got fucking, you know, life is cheap in the Andor universe.
Yeah,
it's good.
Good show. Best Star Wars.
I agree.
It's gonna be hard for season 2 to hold up to season 1, but you know, we'll always have season 1.
Season 1 had the heist, it had a prison break, it had everything.
Yeah, like, mind you, this season's presumably going to lead right up to Rogue One, so there's going to be some spicy.
Because there's only going to be the 2 seasons.
He's going to need to meet Alan Tudyk,
Yeah, he's
at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So yeah, good so far. Oh, and I've also been watching sports.
Great.
Minnesota sports in the playoffs. Well, the Wild were eliminated from the playoffs, which is the hockey team.
Well, shit.
And they are the first NFL, NHL, NBA, or MLB franchise in history to be knocked out of the playoffs 8 of the 10 years, and all in the first round.
Jesus
So that's
Christ.
how the Wild are doing. Just generational misery going on for the entire state. The Wolves beat the Lakers, though, and advanced to the Western Conference semifinals. They're doing well, so someone's keeping me from the noose in my closet, at least.
Well, there you have it, folks.
And it's nice that they let Canadians compete in the NBA.
That's right.
Well, Canada has the Toronto Raptors, so...
Oh, yeah, the Raptors are Toronto, of course.
That fell flat, didn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? Who fucking remembers them?
That's fair. They do stink.
The reason I even know them is because when I was younger, I went to like a sports shop and I picked a fucking, like, which basketball do you want? I was like, the purple one with the dinosaur on, obviously. That's the only reason I know they exist, because they're the coolest looking dinosaur.
You were forever bound to that team.
Vince Carter played for them too, and Vince Carter's awesome, but he's done now, and now they stink.
Are they the only other Canadian team?
Well, the Grizzlies,
NBA?
who are now in Memphis, used to be in Vancouver, but they moved.
They moved from fucking Vancouver to Tennessee.
Yep. And they didn't change their name. I hate that. Like how Utah has the Jazz, because they used to be the New Orleans Jazz, and now they're the Utah Jazz. Utah has... There's no black people in Utah.
It's true.
Utah sucks.
Mormons.
Yeah.
They should have been the Raptors, because the Utah Raptors like an actual
Utah Raptor. Yeah, there you go. That would have been really good. That would have been very clever.
It's the big ones. The ones from Jurassic Park that they call Velociraptors.
Yes, the ones from Jurassic Park. Well, there you have it, folks. Utah sucks, the Raptors suck, and Minnesota's sports teams really aren't that far behind either.
No. Although, you know, we're in the playoffs at least.
Well, that's true. A mixed bag from
the
great state of Minnesota.
That's right. Best state in the union, baby.
Well, I'll touch on my watch your watchings now, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Go ahead. Right. Go right ahead.
Right, well, I'm about to lower the tone somewhat. I watched Accountant 2 in the cinema. The sequel to Accountant 1. This one's got John Bernthal.
Does it have bald guy kicks? Jason Statham.
No, Accountant's the one with Ben
That's the
Affleck plays an
transporter.
autistic man. And he's a hitman, he's an assassin.
And he's an accountant.
And he's an accountant as
And
well.
It's not Jason Statham.
No, it's not Jason Statham.
No, it's Ben Affleck and
It's
John
Ben Affleck.
Bernthal.
This one's got John Bernthal in it as well, and my
So
god.
it's not as much
now,
kicking.
in fairness, we did see this right after we'd watched Sinners. We had a half-hour break in between these films, and you're coming out of one of the best films, quite frankly, going right into Accountant 2. It's always going to suffer quite a bit. It is a fucking mess of a movie. The script feels like about 3 or 4 different stories that are all pulling in different directions. It took about 16 years, well, maybe not 16 years, but it took a long time to come out as a sequel to a film. I can't remember when Accountant 1 came out. About 10 years ago, the Accountant 1 came out. I had some hope that it was maybe like because of that it wasn't really a development hell thing. It was more just like the time was right. They managed to get a budget so they can make it as a passion project. But no, it definitely feels like it's something that just somehow saw the light of day after a very long time.
And it shouldn't have.
Aye, I think they realised that people were excited to see John Bernthal in Daredevil, and they were like, right, release the beast, release the Kraken, and the Kraken was already dead.
You ready for this?
Right, go for it.
It's got 76% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you fucking joking?
7.2 on IMDb and 89% on something called Just Watch.
What?
Is it critics or is it audience?
Is that critics?
That's the critics score. Audience score 92%.
What the fuck are
Certified
they talking
fresh.
about? That film was dire. Like, it was miserable. Danny and Robbie both fell asleep. It was dire. What the fuck?
It's because it's only for like hardcore accountant fans. Because it took ages to come out as a sequel, and it's already a film that not many people fucking saw in the first place.
It did have some cool things in it. Like, there were these moments that were like, there was like the gunfights were brilliant. Like the gunfights, the action, the world building as well to an extent was really good. But like you're talking about like some violence at the start of the film, and then honestly, at least an hour solid before there's any semblance of action ever again, and it's just screaming out for more of that. Like, it was so dull. The plot's like some some mundane mystery bullshit where there's this like lassie works for one of the alphabet soup agencies, trying to track down some cartel. And then, like, John Bernthal, like, the accountant gets his brother, who's John Bernthal, and they didn't like each other because he's autistic and John Bernthal doesn't ken what that means. It's fucking shite. It's absolutely rubbish. So don't listen
if it did have
to
Jason
RT.
Statham in it, it wouldn't have been that boring.
It would have been better if it had
He
Jason
has
Statham
shiter
in it.
films probably, but they never boring.
Aye. Yeah, that's right.
Also,
I like Jason
to
Statham.
be fair, they're only like he also just has films where the name is like a job. That's why I thought the accountant was him. It was like
Beekeeper.
the transporter, the beekeeper.
No, his one that's out right now is called A Working Man.
You see what I'm saying? This
You
guy's-
go, yeah, that's
he's always
Jason
just has a
Statham
job or something.
Aye. Maybe that's
And
how
he's
they
kicking
lure
something.
in their audience. They're like, I could do
Except
that.
with a Meg.
The only other thing that I was going to touch on is that I've been watching season 2 of The Last of Us.
Yeah,
That's
and
been coming out.
Good.
that's
They
what
didn't
I've
have it as well as the
heard.
game then.
Yeah, they're changing things.
Yeah,
They're changing
Like,
things, and
they've
not for the
changed
better. Yeah, and it's no really like in the first season where they changed some things in the first season. They changed like a big element of it that was shit, but then the other things that they changed were all right. It was just like little bits and pieces. And this, they're changing things structurally and changing things that seem quite significant going forward. And I'm skeptical. There's only been 3
the first
episodes.
season, which I do want to watch. It's on my list. I'm going to watch
The
it.
first season's really good. The first season is an excellent adaptation. Like, it's fantastic all through and through.
And there's a lot of unnecessary hatred on the fucking girl playing Ellie. I've seen that.
Oh,
everywhere
aye, because she
still.
doesn't look like. I always think people are
Literally.
like, she doesn't look like Ellie, and I'm like, which version of Ellie was it that you used to wank off to? Was it the one that had lost her father figure, or was it the lassie that was underage?
Dear.
Fuck off.
Oh, dear.
Honestly, pathetic.
weird.
Absolutely fucking pathetic. I get that she doesn't look like the character, like, but then
did
just
see-
fucking grow up.
The woman they got to play. Who the fuck's the other woman in this?
Abby.
The
Just
one-
looks
Abby.
like Ellie.
Looks like Ellie. When I saw it, I was
That's
like,
funny.
"Oh, is that meant to be her growing up?" Oh, they found someone who looked just kind of just like her. I was like, "Oh no, that's Abby now." I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of weird."
She plays the character really well, I think. Like,
Well,
I mean, so does the lassie that plays Ellie, Bella.
I mean, as long as
Ramsey.
she can, hold the fucking show on her own because she kind of has to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's really good as the character. Like, she gets the mannerisms absolutely spot on, and that's why it doesn't really bother me. If she didn't look like her and she didn't act like her, then it's not the character. But she acts fine, and she's a fucking actress. It's an adaptation. It's no fucking one-to-one. It's no fucking, one-to-one recreation.
You can just go play the game.
Yeah, people.
Yeah,
want
you
that
can just
shit.
go play the game. If you want to fucking wank
Or
off
just
a
watch
14-year-old
someone
lassie,
play the
then
game.
Last of Us 1's right there.
Also, the games for fucking people who are weird about fucking like things being dated. Go and fucking play like they just remade 1 and 2. They look fucking incredible, and they're great games. And
I feel like
if you need
they've
the story-
remade 1 and 2 about 4 times each at this
I've
point.
platinumed Last of Us 2 3 times. I am the world's leading expert on The Last of Us 2.
They're just good games, and with games also you have a way longer time to tell the story, and they're just told fucking well. If you really care, go play them.
Yeah, brilliant,
'Cause they're
brilliant,
fucking
beautiful,
stellar.
elegant stories. Fantastic
Anyone tells you
stuff.
otherwise is an incel.
My
They've
favourite
outed
of all
themselves.
time.
They're fucking
Yeah.
told on themselves.
Yeah. My favourite of all time is The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2 together. But anyway, that's me.
That's
Other
us.
wee, not
it.
really much else, but nothing
take us
worth
in.
mentioning. Take us in. Take us
Take
in.
us in.
Is it time? It's time. Time for the movie. Time for Blade.
Aye.
Blade, a film about vampires, among other things. Directed
Yeah,
by Stephen
film about
Norrington,
Blade.
1998. Film about Blade.
Yeah.
What do we think of Blade? I think I know what you two think of Blade.
I love a Blade.
I think
Yeah.
it's terrible. No, I'm kidding. I really like it.
I love me some Blade. I really do.
Long-term Blade
fan.
fanboys. This will be the 5th or 6th time that we've discussed Blade on the air, or somebody has that resembles
Someone,
us anyway.
yeah. Do we want to just start with box office?
Go on, hit us with the box office.
Sure.
Get the facts and figures out of the way.
1998. I'm not adjusting for inflation because I don't care. Budget of $45 million, made $131 million.
Oof.
Pretty good. Pretty good
Yeah,
for
fair enough.
a
Yeah.
rated
Stuff.
R Marvel offshoot bought for
It keeps its
$15,000
Marvel affiliation quiet.
from. Well, it's because Marvel had to sell it off for a pittance because they were
Yeah.
continually going out of business in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, did well, as you said. Directed by Stephen Norrington, who then in 2003 did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and then has not directed
Never
anything
worked
since
again.
because that's the worst movie
And
ever
that's
made.
why. Yeah, it's not great.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah,
He
because
does,
this
he
is
does
good.
well. This is good. This is a good movie. For
Very
sure.
enjoyable.
It starts
Does everything I
strong.
want it to do.
The blood
Starts
rage.
strong and it doesn't really let up. Sometimes it does actually.
there's a
like,
few
that's,
dips.
Yeah, like,
I have one.
we'll
I
get,
have
we'll
one
get
issue
to
with
that.
it, but that's it.
But
You've one issue with this whole movie.
But there is
What's
it has
this
a
guy? Blade Simp
it has
over
one
here.
of the
He is
fucking strongest starts
Oh,
of
yeah.
any film. The
that-
Blade fucking rave scene is like that's
Yeah.
like
The
cinema. That's
song.
legendary. Everyone that song. That's what people call that song. The Blade song.
yeah, it's amazing.
It's
The
fucking
little dance of it.
incredible.
As the youngest one here, not being alive during this period,
Yeah.
this movie might as well be a period piece at this point. Like, because I wasn't alive for it, this is like watching Indiana Jones to me. Like, it is that far removed from, like, modern reality that it doesn't... I'm not like, oh, this is dated, because this is just what the
it
90s
was
were.
contemporary to the- And let me
it
tell
is-
you, it was exactly like that back then.
It was. That's what it was like. It was
Like,
Wonder
if
Woman.
vampires were around in the 90s, they'd be doing blood raves to that song.
Yeah, fucking
would.
absolutely.
Yeah, they still would probably.
And they'd
but
have
it would
a-
be like
they'd have a-
referential now.
Spiked up hair with a cigarette behind their ear.
Yeah. I have to say that this is like unironically comfortably one of my favourite like vampire aesthetics out of all
yeah.
the vampire aesthetics. I think like urban apathetic 90s chic is the best interpretation for vampires.
Yeah, it's
This-
so good. It's
and-
gritty and it's like they fit in. Like I could believe that shit. Oh, it's a weird fucking. They're having a fucking rave in a meat plant or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah.
than
What,
like
what I
a
like
big
as
fancy
well
ballroom somewhere.
is that like every single scene whenever you see like anybody, like even like extras and background characters, everybody fits the aesthetic of this
Yeah.
movie perfectly.
That's just what the 90s were like.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was it. That's just what the 90s were like. I love it. And without this film, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines wouldn't exist. So, so there you go.
And the second one never will.
So
We'll see about that.
we've gathered some questions about just the initial scene, right? Where did they get so much blood? My question is,
You see it. That's the thing. They show you. They come in. They walk past some guys wheeling human beings vacuum packed in body bags, and the guy's like, "What the fuck was that?" And the woman quickly kisses him, so he's not paying attention. In the background, there's just guys wheeling people who are connected to hoses to link up the sprinkler system.
Well, there you go. That question's answered.
You're right. That's that.
My question, right, is that's a lot of vampires. How many vampires are there in? Is this New York? I don't know. Whatever city.
Yeah,
this
I think it's New York.
Yeah,
I guess
what
it
was
doesn't really
Spider-Man
matter.
up to this
But
time?
that's like, that was a lot of vampires in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That was
and
a
let's
lot.
assume that, I mean, maybe vampire subculture means that more than the average culture, people go to raves, I would guess.
But also remember, they specifically call them out. The old vampires are like, we don't do this shit.
No,
We
I
do
know,
not
but
get
like-
in
well,
big groups."
apparently about
So how
40
many
or 50
are there?
people do at least, if not more.
There's
There's
this guy
tons of
does.
them.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, how
Yeah,
many
there's
vampires
loads of
total
them.
are there? There's got to be.
That's
I
a
mean,
good question. I
'cause
mean,
if
in
there were
general, there's a lot of vampires in
200,
this movie.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even
But
if there
then-
was like fucking 10,000 in New York compared to the amount of people in New York.
It's a good point. That's a low percentage of the people
Right,
in
but
New
that's
York.
still a lot of vampires in one
see
city,
like
isn't it?
you see like 200 vampires in this film, if that.
But then, like in this film, the masquerade, the kayfabe is still maintained.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying,
if there was
like,
that many
you know-
vampires, if there was 10,000 vampires all kicking about New York, all feeding, eventually somebody would be like, "There's rakes of folk all going
Right.
missing."
Exactly. And you know, you watch a Dracula movie and there's one Dracula, and there's 10,000 Draculas in this movie. There's
Yeah.
so many Draculas.
Mind you, it was New York in the 90s, so they could just attribute the missing people to gun crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Also,
Rudy
a lot of them
Giuliani.
are not like missing people who are disappearing like every day. They're getting people and then fucking keep them alive in a vacuum fucking bag.
Right, but they're still missing, aren't they?
And yeah, they're still missing, but you don't need to get 10 people.
They're not
You can
gonna
just have
put a
you can
police
just have your
report in
one
for a
guy.
missing person and then be like, "Oh, they're just in a vacuum bag. That's fine."
The false
No,
alarm
but I'm
report.
saying like a singular vampire doesn't have to take a person every day. They just have their guy in the fridge with the straw hanging out.
Right, but
Let's have
if
a sick one.
10,000 people went missing,
There's
That's
more
a
than
lot of
10,000
people.
people. I bet you in fucking New York.
Yeah, probably.
People who are,
yeah,
who are
How
dead
many
or missing.
people? How many people in New York go missing every month on average? Do you reckon?
let's see. How many missing people?
One of the most harsh statistics we've ever looked up on the air.
More than 13,000 people were reported missing in New York City last year.
There you
While
go.
most
Well, there
are
you have
promptly found, hundreds of people become missing long term, which is missing for 60 or more days. So you're in the hundreds per year. For long
Well, so they might be
missing.
bringing them in from far afield, and like,
From other
like they could go to the
places, yeah.
blood bank. There's other sources of blood.
And whereas the 10,000 number I pulled out of nowhere, we only saw like 200 less.
Some of the vampires would be traveling from further afield. They'd be like, "Oh, there's a rave happening. We don't get very many social events being vampires. Let's
What,
go to
from
the rave."
Hoboken.
And remember they said like they own like the police and the politicians and the blood banks. So like,
Yeah.
that guy was delivering blood banks like he was a fucking DoorDash guy. Like they usually just take blood bank things to bring to
I'm just,
people. and
yeah.
have
I
a
mean,
suck
I'm
in your bag.
I'm not bringing this up, but you don't have to defend the movie's honor. I'm just,
Well, I
it's
have.
a
Yeah,
curious.
it's a thought.
I know
It's a
you
thought
have.
experiment.
Yeah, it's just interesting. This world, like,
Yeah.
what
let's posit-
percentage of people in New York are vampires or
Yeah,
whatever?
Not that
Percent.
many after Blade
Relatively
gets into
high.
your fucking rave. He shuts that shit down.
Yeah, it's open season on Suckheads. Remember,
That's right. Yeah. Some really stellar one-liners.
unbelievable
That's what
script.
Some of the best.
I don't know
ones.
how anyone sat down and read this script and went, "Yeah." I mean,
I'm
glad they did.
convinced
It's
half of it
awesome.
was just Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, he just fucking did shit
Well,
like
apparently he improvised the skating
Of
uphill
course he
line,
did.
but
that. Yes. Come on, of course you did.
like, did he or did he hear it somewhere and was like, "Yeah, that's cool"?
I
Who
have
would
no
have said
idea.
that?
I don't know. Why did he say it?
I like when the police come in and shoot at him, and they shoot him, and he goes, "Motherfucker, are you out of your goddamn mind?" Which is a line that just doesn't make sense. Why does he say that?
Why are they shooting in a hospital? It does make sense because
shooting
they
at the
are out of their
hospital.
mind.
Shooting-
He was
yeah,
carrying
they're
a
shooting at
woman
hospital,
later,
right?
and they were
Yeah.
just gunning him, trying to gun him down. And then
Yes,
he
because they work for the police and they're
It
trying
just
to kill
it
him.
seems like a strange. It just seems like a strange response.
he throws her
Onto some box.
600 feet across the street onto some boxes,
her out
and
the
she
window.
somehow lives.
Dislocates her arm,
Defenestrates
though.
her.
Yeah.
I think that's funny because he could have just jumped across holding her, no problem.
Right. Yeah.
But he's like, nah, you first.
Maybe he's not strong enough.
Just in case. There might be spikes over there, just in case.
I mean, he clearly doesn't.
He's not on the blood.
He clearly doesn't care if people die, because otherwise he would have just killed, what's his name? Donald Logue's character? Quinn. He would have just killed Quinn in the first place. Instead, he lights him on fire, lets him go to the hospital, bite 2 people, and then he's there, and he's like, I came to finish you off. Just do it in the first place, man. What are you waiting for? You knew he was going to bite people.
The cops showed up, remember, and he disappears into a vent.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not like he takes particularly long to kill people in the first place.
It's true.
Just cut his head off.
He doesn't like this guy. He wants to burn him to death.
Yeah, he's got a particular vendetta against this one specific.
But then doesn't he pins him to the wall, and then he's like, tell Deacon Frost whatever. But then did he forget that he, like, because then he comes back and he's like, I came to finish you off. Do you think he gave him the message already? He went straight to the hospital, Blade.
No. He just was thinking about it on his drive home. He was like, I should really have killed that guy.
Yeah, I think he was. He got in the car and he was like, oh, damn it.
Good stuff.
Or do you think he got, maybe he took so long because he got all the way back to their hideout and he told Whistler, and Whistler was like,
what the fuck did you do that for?
Yeah, you need to go kill him. And he was like, oh, you're right, I do.
You for no need. You set a man who can't die on fire.
What did you do that for?
By the way, Chris Christopherson's amazing at this. The Whistler is such a good character. My favorite bit in the whole movie, well, both my favorite bits involve him. The first one with the UV light where he hands it to Blade, and Blade goes,
it's one of your quotes.
It's still too heavy. And Whistler says, you're so big.
You're so big.
And the other bit, when he's just slopping gasoline all over the place, filling the car up, and he just takes his lighter out and lights a cigarette right next to it. It's awesome.
It's so good. The you're so big, you say that quite often.
Yeah, I do. Big. It's one of my favorite movie lines of all time.
That's so funny.
Because what? It's nothing. That's a nothing. Why is that in the script? Why is that? It's still too heavy. Well, you're so big. Great.
Well, that's what he's saying. Is that you're big. You can't be complaining about the weight of that. You're huge.
It's like the line in the 1998 Godzilla where he just goes, "That's a lot of fish."
It's a lot of fish. Yeah, classic.
Great.
That's what I mean. So like, just lines that kind of don't make sense, like, but they do. But they're just strange.
I put it to you that if us three came across a pile of fish, one of us would be like, "That is a lot of fish."
One of us would go look at all those fish. Also, he says it to himself, doesn't he?
Aye, part of the why that line persists is it's the delivery on it. It's not him just saying that's a lot of fish. That's a lot of fish. Just matter of fact.
Yeah.
An observation.
And that's how it is with these lines too. It's the cadence. It sticks in your head.
Yes. It is a very, very unique film in its delivery.
It is.
I feel.
In every way.
In every way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a way it is very 90s, but in a way it is completely insane. And nothing is like it.
It is unhinged. It truly is. It's a silly film.
That's
fine. I love it. They use fucking very 90s editing. Like, let's just fucking speed things up and zip into the streets.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
I love that too. Let's use a fucking time lapse of clouds. Let's do it. Just shit like that all the time. It's great.
Great stuff.
Oh.
Just going back to kind of walking it through piece by piece. First of all, do we want to explain why Blade is the way he is?
Probably should touch on it briefly.
His mom got bit by a vampire and died, or we thought she died. She ends up not being dead. And she gives birth to him, so he's half vampire.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Nerd. He's half vampire and half not. He, as Deacon Frost says, he has all of their strengths and none of their weaknesses, except he has the thirst and needs to take a serum, and also the serum's going to run out, so he does kind of have their weaknesses. Some of them. But he can go out in the sun.
It's quite a big weakness.
And garlic doesn't hurt him, and silver doesn't hurt him.
And he also doesn't have all their strengths because he still ages normally.
Yeah, so he ages and he has to drink blood.
But then that would you could argue that not aging normally could be something of a weakness for a vampire.
Yeah,
couldn't you?
Like in Interview with a Vampire, when like an 8-year-old gets bitten, she used to stay 8 forever.
But
Then she tries to hump fucking Brad Pitt, and he's like, "No."
Whistler says they age slowly. but they are not
Yeah.
permanent, because otherwise how would you explain all the old European vampires, which is another one of my favorite things in this movie. The corporate board of weird old vampires.
Love it. A vampire council. I love it. I love it. Again, like I say, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is this film, but a video game. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's my favourite thing in that game, and this is where it came from. I fucking love a vampire council.
Yep.
It gets me.
So anyway, he pins... just the more weird moments. He shoots the silver stakes like through Quinn's shoulders and pins him to the wall, and then he just does a fist bump and like smiles to himself.
Yeah.
I love the Bladeisms, I always call them. Like, cause they bring it up in it. Like, he enjoys the hunt. His mum says it to him later on. Spoilers: his mum's alive. And his mum's like, "You also enjoy the hunt. You're just hunting us." Yeah. He's like, he does like little fist bumps, and there's a bit where he's in the elevator with the girl after she's killed her. He's just smiling to himself, and she looks at him. He stops smiling. He's just like loving his fucking life,
he's a
kicking people's
psychopath.
ass. Well, he hates
Maniac.
vampires, and he gets to beat people up. Yeah, he's a bit psycho, I guess. Oh, good times.
Such a character.
And
Such a character.
And there's lots of stuff you can say, like, oh, they took that for the Matrix. This has got some Matrix aesthetics in it.
Yeah. It's definitely been a very inspirational film. That's
there's
for
like
sure.
basically the lobby scene where he comes in and there's all the granite pillars and
I saw it when I saw it. I was like, oh yeah.
Many films have drawn from Blade, but few have reached its lofty heights.
You and Devil May Cry, just a
That's
wisecracking demon hunter. He kills something, he's like, jackpot.
Yeah, I'm glad Blade doesn't say as much.
Oh no, I love it. Like, Dante's like punching a fucking record jukebox to get the music playing for his fight scenes and shit like that. Just corny fucking. Oh, you gotta love it. And when Dante does it, it doesn't work half times. He hits the jukebox and it doesn't work. It's like, oh. Then he has to punch it till it's half broken to start working.
Blade never has to do that. Blade would get it right first time.
It's true. And then you do a fist bump.
Yeah, but then he'd do a fist bump, which in many ways is more corny.
Yeah, it's like he's so dorky and I love it.
Yeah, he nails it, but then it's after that. That's how he makes it cringe. Delivery was exceptional.
It's a good thing for Blade that after letting Quinn go and bite two people, that one of them was a hematologist and a certified undraculologist.
Yes,
that's right.
Because
very handy.
Otherwise you've just got two more vampires, but instead she can be not a Dracula.
One of the people that he bites, the non-hematologist. No, in fact, the one who works in the morgue or whatever, ends up in a pit and he's just miserable zombie man down in a fucking pit later in the film.
Yeah, not really a vampire.
Voice.
Yeah, because some guy says like, "Oh, you sucked all the blood out of him. You're basically like a zombie now." And I never caught that before, and I guess that's why he's like that. Yeah, they just fucking...
Did they say that?
Yeah, Deacon Frost is talking to Quinn.
No, I didn't.
And he just drank too much, and now he's a fucking ghoul. He just lives in a pit. It's pretty... he's a fucking ghoul.
I mean, that's always there in vampire lore, is if you're going to blood someone, you've got to do it right.
Yep.
Because if you don't do it right, then there'll be a thrall or a ghoul. You don't want to be a thrall or a ghoul.
No,
you want to be a vampire.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Or a daywalker, I suppose. You'd think that there would be more daywalkers kicking about, but then again, they wouldn't have the serum.
Do they? Yeah. Do they just put a lot of sunscreen on, right, to be able to just walk around?
And it doesn't last long. It's like a short term. Like, you can be out there for 5 minutes. Tell you what, that scene when he gets fucking melted, that's grisly.
That's a good effect.
He went. They was like, this is an R-rated. We're gonna put that to fucking work, and they dissolved that.
And the serum at the end that he shoots into them and they bubble up and explode.
That is an absolute all-timer visual effect. Like, I saw this film. The first time I saw this film, I must have been about 10. And that special effect has lasted with me my entire life. Because it's so impressive, but it looks so shit. Like, it looks terrible. What are you talking about?
The bubbling up one?
Like when they fucking expand and explode and burst up.
I honestly don't think it looks that bad.
Horrendous looking. It was horrendous looking at the time. But that's part of why I like it so much.
No, I think it looks good.
Decent, but yeah, it is a bit. You can
it's
tell
not like the CGI bullets.
No, I'll say this film actually looks better CGI wise, maybe not all the time, but than Blade 2 in a lot of places. Remember in Blade 2 when they have that weird fight in front of the lights? The big,
I've never
Yeah.
seen.
and
Blade
they're
2.
just like flop. It's great. It's Del Toro directs it.
Blade
It's
2 is really good. Yeah, it's about as good
If
as
you want,
this.
if you want
probably.
this film directed by
maybe
Guillermo
better?
del Toro, it's that. And it is really fucking good. Yeah, it might be better.
It's
Oh,
got it's got that guy in it. The guy from
Norman Reedus, I think.
from Pacific Rim.
Isn't it?
No,
No, Charlie Hunnam. Isn't Norman Reedus in one of them?
No.
No, who are we
Maybe.
thinking of? I know who you mean.
Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman.
Perlman.
No,
Yeah,
it does have someone like that. It does have somebody like that in Blade 2, though. I'm not being
It does have Ron
gaslit here.
Perlman. That's for sure.
It's got
I
somebody.
think it might also have Norman
It's
Reedus.
got Norman Reedus.
Yes,
yeah.
I think it might have Norman.
think.
Yeah, Norman Reedus is the guy who is Whistler's assistant. He like takes over and helps.
He's barely in it. I'm pretty
Right?
sure.
But he's a double crosser and all that shit, right? Was that him?
Yeah.
Well, now you've.
Well, Cron already
Well,
knew
no,
he was in the
it's
film.
not.
Cron.
I don't know who he was.
Yes,
Well,
Norman
maybe
Reedus
he's not
is
the
in
double crosser. Have a watch.
it. Great.
Covered it.
Yeah, got out of that one.
Scot free.
Good stuff. I like that you introduced fucking Ron Perlman as the guy from Pacific Rim.
I just knew you guys would
You
get
could have
that.
said Hellboy. You could have said
Of
anything.
all the people. Yeah.
Pacific
Ah,
Rim.
well, I thought of Pacific Rim
Of all the
first.
films he's been in and all the people that are in Pacific Rim.
Ah, well,
Good
so,
lord
my God.
almighty.
Would you want to be a familiar to a horrible Dracula?
Or just be a fucking
No.
gopher and get beaten up and stuff all the time.
Yeah,
Probably not, no.
and be picked up by Blade and used to smash a woman's gaff up and break all of her things.
I mean, that would be
Swings that guy around by his legs and smashes her dresser and all her fine china and just breaks her whole apartment swinging this cop around.
I think he's trying to make it look like there's been a struggle. Because she's like, why are you doing that? And he kind of like...
I think he just likes
I'm
doing
not
it.
saying
too.
he loves his job, you know, and I like to see someone who loves their job. You know? If he was like, oh, I fucking don't want to do this. It's like...
I don't think Blade's... I don't think he's a thinker.
I think he's a fighter. He's strategic. He thinks a lot about how to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily fair to say he's not a thinker.
I think he went back to the hideout, and Whistler was like, "You're an idiot. You have to go kill that guy." And he was like, "Oh yeah." I don't think he
yeah.
I don't think he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make this look like there was a struggle." I think he was like, "I'm gonna smash this guy around because I
Yeah.
like doing it."
I like that interpretation of the character better.
I mean, he did let her go back to follow her. You know, just like a fucking guy who's like, he's like kind of like a bit like a weeb. He loves like Bushido and stuff. He has his little fucking shrines.
By
and
the
stuff.
way, yeah, the character design is
Amazing.
so
It's
good.
amazing.
Like the perfectly symmetrical, like the haircut and
Yeah,
the
the
tattoos
tribal
are all
tat.
symmetrical, and the sword is right in the middle of the back. It's such a good design.
Absolutely slaps.
I have two notes here that says one says Whistler has aura, and the other one says this whole movie has aura.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. That's what the kids say. It's got aura.
Yeah.
And this film does have aura.
Some of the things that don't have aura, I know we're kind of going back and forth all over the place here. If you've seen the movie, you get it. If you haven't, sorry.
Yeah.
You somehow don't like the bubbling effect. I think it's
like
really
it.
good. But the CGI bullet effect and the blood tornado at the end are not very good.
Blood tornado?
Or the blood, like, you know, when he gets cut in half and
Oh,
he sloops
yeah,
back
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Like the...
I didn't mind that one as much, but just because of how silly it was.
Yeah, but
It looked bad.
it looks bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know.
A lot of the effects looked bad, but I think that's kind of like when I was saying that the blood, the inflation bubbly effect looked bad. I don't mean looks bad in the sense that it takes away from the film. If anything, it adds to it because it looks bad. Like all of the effects add to this movie because they look bad because it's just a silly ass fucking movie the whole way through.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it, and what breaks it somewhat.
Now that we're about an hour in, I'm going to admit something to you
Okay.
guys. I didn't finish this movie. I fell asleep.
This guy.
Yeah, that's
Well, if you got to the blood bit,
I got
you've
most of the
basically-
way to the end.
Time.
Yeah, you've seen it before,
And I've
Right.
seen it more
Yes.
than once, yeah. I got right to the end where they're about to start the ritual, and then I was like, it's time for
So you
bed.
missed the best one-liner in the film.
Which one's that?
Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it plays on repeat in my
Yeah.
mind, so I mean,
That's-
I didn't really
that's
miss
what
it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the same thing. I watched this film not too long ago. As we alluded to last time, there was a period of my life very recently where I watched every MCU film, and as an extension of that, I wanted to watch every Marvel film in general. So I watched this film a few months ago, and I didn't feel like I needed to pay avid attention to it the second time round. And as you say, about when you fell asleep is about when I started to pay less and less attention to the movie.
It does. There are some down moments that are a bit dull.
I would say that there are pretty big sections of this film that are a bit fucking shit. Like, they're a bit.
I wouldn't go
dry.
that far.
Like, it goes from like all the good stuff is amazing, but it's just tied together by this membrane of kind of like, oh, it's a bit mundane. The go between. I don't want to say the plot, because the plot's pretty decent when it's the vampires, but like all of the Blade stuff that isn't Blade fighting vampires or interacting directly with vampires is a bit gash.
Which bits? I like it. Do you mean like the bits when he's like, look at for this Deacon Frost is having a house party?
And all the stuff to do with the Doctor Lady and that. I mean, Whistler's good.
Good old Whistler.
And then, but even then,
Whistler has aura.
Parts of the overarching plot are a bit fucking wishy-washy as well. The final act of this feels like the fucking Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movie, and I don't mean in a good way. I mean that in a bad way.
There's no situation where you would say that and you would mean it in a good way.
Well, I mean, Angelina Jolie's a delight, and she's a very talented woman.
Yeah, but that movie sucks.
Does.
Aye. It's got Seth Green in it.
It's true. That's a fact.
Great.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
He's also in Scooby-Doo 2.
That's right. He is another great film.
Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah, another
Is that what
classic.
it's called?
Yes, that's right. Well done. Well remembered. Based
Written
on a
by-
true story.
Does anyone know who wrote that movie?
I know it was James Gunn directed that. I don't know. Did he
Yeah,
write it?
no, he wrote it.
Did he
He
write it
didn't
as
direct
well?
it, he wrote it.
Oh,
Yeah.
he directed the first one, I think.
No, he
Did
wrote
he
it.
not? Wow, there you go. Is that why it's so horny? Is James Gunn horny?
Yes.
I wonder if he's still
Speaking
horny.
Speaking of horny, I hope he's not still horny. It's hard to be horny when you're over 50. Or however old he is. What's with the, does Stephen Dorrington have mommy issues? What's the deal with that? I didn't like that very much.
Oh, his mum being a bit horny.
Yeah, just to add him.
I think it's just
James
because.
Gunn's
thank you.
58.
Oh yeah, Jesus 60. I think it's just because like
He
they always
didn't have any
do.
business being horny in Scooby-Doo too. Sorry, carry on.
Jeez. Let's get back on track here, Crumb.
Yeah, no business
Now you
being
suck-
so horny.
now you
during
suck Grant
Scooby-
off.
Fucking
Raises-
Scooby-Doo 2.
Raises the question, does anybody have any business being horny in Scooby-Doo too? It's not a very
I mean,
appropriate
if the internet
place
has
to
anything
horny,
to say
is
about it, people
Yeah.
like Velma a lot.
I've always been more of a Daphne man myself, and I realise that
I
makes
bet,
me a
you
fucking
would.
insipid cunt of a human being.
So
Yeah.
you would.
I know, it means I've got no integrity, but what can I say?
Yeah, but Crun's being like normal in that sense. Like Velma's only hot in the fucking like deviant art pictures that people fucking fawn over. In the actual
That's
show.
right.
What? No, she's very pretty in that movie.
Oh, I thought I was talking about fucking
Aye,
cartoons.
But then she's a horn dog.
Well, I mean, if
equivalent.
we're
We're
talking
talking
about the
about the
cartoons,
cartoons,
then
that's-
you're
that's
attracted
what
to
the
a. Then you're talking
Yeah, but
attracted
that's
to a
what people
cartoon
are thirsting
characters.
over.
I mean, then you've
They're
got
loving,
other
like all
issues.
these deviant art drawings and shit. They're not fucking. You know what I mean? These are the people who like Sonic a lot.
I mean,
it's the same people.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
Careful.
let's be fair.
Careful.
That's a pretty specific subset of those folk that are out there wanking off the Rule 34. Let's be serious. Like, I'm not here to tar the name of everybody out there
Who like
but
Sonic? I am.
If you're into Sonic, in general, if you're into Sonic, then you're no friend of mine.
You know who likes Sonic, and you know who should like Sonic? Children. Sonic is for children. If you're an adult who likes Sonic, maybe
I've
don't.
not seen
maybe
the
lay
film, but
off
I've heard nothing but good things about the new movies. Everyone sings their praises. I haven't seen them.
But then people have been saying that about the people said that about the Nintendo Switch, and they lied to me.
I think friend of the podcast Danny watched Sonic. I think it was him. Someone I spoke to watched Sonic, and he said it was shit.
I've spoken to somebody who said it was about as good. It was about as good as you would expect, as you could expect a Sonic movie to be, which I think was a pretty fair.
But
review.
again,
Apparently,
it's for
apparently they
kids.
just get better and better. The second one,
There's never been a good
they
Sonic
put
game.
Idris Elba in as Knuckles. I'm like, I'll watch that.
That's a bold
And then
statement.
the next one, they put Keanu Reeves as Shadow. I'm like, okay, I'll watch these films.
Right.
I will eventually watch them because that's kind of funny.
I think
And
about
doesn't
Sonic Adventure.
Jim
that was
Carrey
quite
dance to Galvanize? in
No
one of
idea,
them?
but he plays Robotnik as well.
But there's 2 Jim Carreys or
I
something.
don't
good.
know.
Robot Nick. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
I
we'll
can't
watch
believe we're
Sonic
talking
when the
about-
next Mario movie comes out.
That'd be funny. That would be funny. That's a good one.
Oh
Write
yeah,
that one down.
you were saying horny moms. That's
I
what you were
won't.
talking about.
Yeah, I don't
I
like
think it's
that.
just because
I
they were
didn't- I didn't
doing
enjoy that.
vampires are intrinsically tied to like sexuality and horniness in general. Vampires
Yeah.
are always
Yeah, but
a horny
don't
thing.
maybe don't make it her mom.
But they've
make it
done
his
that a
mom.
lot in a lot of the vampire things. It's
To be
always like
fair-
someone's mum or sister or someone comes back and they're all weird with them.
Can they reproduce sexually? Vampires.
If
in
you
this
want to,
universe?
I would
think
assume
about-
so because they're all talking about pure blood and whatever.
Well,
They're
I
kinda,
thought that
the
was
Draculas are
when-
kind of racist.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
a quote I
actually,
have.
yeah.
It says these Draculas are kind of racist.
They are a
That's
bit,
what
yeah.
my note says.
I wonder.
I mean, normally maybe not normally, but in a lot of vampire lores, it's like if you're a vampire, you become sterile, like a witcher. So then, in that case, the taboo around incest would probably lift over like a few decades, because ultimately the problem that we have with that is because it leads to mutant offspring and shit like that, and it's not something that you should be doing. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that you should be going out.
I mean,
if
ultimately,
you're
the problem I
sterile, you
have
should
with
be
it is
shagging your
yuck.
mum.
Yeah, it's yuck.
It's disgusting.
It's the
But I'm saying
familiarity, that's the
society
problem.
would maybe. Your society would maybe shift somewhat to make it somewhat more lenient towards a more medieval style of thing.
Way to play devil's advocate on this one, Crumb. Thank you for standing up for all the people that want to shag
Listen,
their
in
mom.
the,
I'm just saying.
Well done.
Like, vampires might work differently to you and I.
Great work.
You've
I
had several.
like
you've had
this free
hundreds of
thinking.
years to grow distance.
Yep.
To grow distant.
I don't know if
for your mother.
I don't know if there is amount of time that I'd get that distant. I think it's different if you've never met the person. And even then,
Yeah,
once you
true.
found out, you'd be like, well, this is coming to an end. But still.
How do they recognize each other? I mean, I take it that she's probably like spied on him or
I
whatever.
think he has weird vampire memories because you keep getting flashbacks of his point of
Aye.
view when he's getting picked up by the doctor and his mum's reaching for him. I think vampires
You mean
have
you
crazy,
don't remember that?
crazy vampire memories.
That's my earliest
Right.
memory too.
Yeah, your mum reaches,
Is it?
give him back.
Being stolen by the doctor.
Yeah, stolen by the doctor.
In the excellent Hugh Jackman Van Helsing film, the vampires do reproduce in that.
Oh, I maybe
You
not
wanna
that
settle
word
down?
for it.
But Meatloaf is in that as Frankenstein's monster, and he sings all his lines.
It's a stellar movie, absolute classic. Don't ever really want to watch it again, but it's really good.
Next week,
Oh, no.
Nope. No, we're
I
not.
really
No, we're
want to
not.
do it, and I've never had my chance. So anyway, they
And you
they
never
hang
will.
loads of like egg sacs from the ceiling, like thousands of them, like the way like octopus do, and that's where all the baby vampires come out.
Yeah, that's right. Aye, yeah, they do spawn.
they-
they spawn.
So they take a lot of time. He has like 3 wives, and they're just like pumping out thousands of eggs over a long time. And then he has
Aye.
Victor Frankenstein working for him to help. Because I think they're born dead. They're all born stillborn, but then Frankenstein electrifies all the eggs or something. I don't know.
Aye, that's yeah. Right.
That
but-
movie
That movie
sucks.
has
Talking
the
about
best.
that film's good.
Has the best werewolves in any werewolf thing. It's there.
That's a pretty solid 7 out of 10 movie.
Exactly.
Is Van Helsing.
No
the werewolf
way.
effects are amazing. I would go so far as to say when Van Helsing becomes a werewolf, he's beautiful as an animal. You know, when you see a wolf, it's like that's a beautiful animal. The werewolf looks
whoa,
great.
Here we go.
Whoa,
We're really
whoa,
firing
whoa.
on all cylinders
And-
this time.
Whoa,
It's meant to
whoa,
play
whoa.
devil's
Let's-
advocate for someone else.
This podcast is getting too James
No.
Gunn horny right now. Let's reel
Not
it
in the
in.
way Elijah's
Quite the opposite.
Elijah's mind goes there because he is James Gunn horny. I'm thinking like you see like a giraffe.
I'm
like,
James Gunn
that's a
horny
beautiful
now,
animal.
as in
Oh,
58 years old James Gunn.
I don't know what that means. Oh, this is never getting released.
I've forgotten what it means to be
just-
horny.
He just is it's a beautiful animal. Not in the fucking Elijah way,
It's a
whatever they do
beautiful
in
animal.
Canada.
It's a majestic
Why-
beast.
He's
Don't
a
put this
majestic
on me.
werewolf.
Don't
Yes,
put
thank you,
this on
Crumb.
me.
And
Say that then. Don't say
it's
beautiful.
got, all right. Would you never call a fucking animal beautiful like a whale?
Whales
I don't
are
look
beautiful.
at a werewolf, an anthropomorphic werewolf man, and say
admittedly,
that
yeah.
guy's beautiful.
Not the guy, the wolf.
Yeah, it's a guy.
man wolf.
It's a werewolf.
Yeah, but like, what if you saw like a wolf? And
It'll
you're like, that's a
not get
beautiful
given
animal.
half the chance.
Grant, listen. If you call a werewolf beautiful, it
You want
means
to
you
fuck
want to
that
shag
wolf.
it.
Well, I'll tell you now, I don't, because it's the angriest thing in the world. There's the only thing that matches its anger is a xenomorph. So it's been a funny thing in a friend group where it's like it's just fucking livid when you watch
That's a
it.
force
He's
of
just
nature.
constantly angry and dragging his claws along the fucking wall, wanting to kill something.
It's a good werewolf.
It's a great looking
remember.
werewolf.
I remember
won't
it
call it
clearly.
beautiful
It's a
anymore
very
because you're not allowed to call animals
No,
beautiful.
no,
apparently.
yeah, you're not allowed anymore. No.
No, that's
That's
not
right.
what I said.
Here's what
That's
you
right.
said.
The fetish police have called,
Yeah.
and they said
You're under arrest.
And I just think if you call something beautiful, you want to bang it.
That's not.
Well,
That's
I
everything
don't-
that he has called beautiful.
Yeah.
He wants to bang.
Yeah, like his car.
that's
It
why it's
was the
getting
way you
confused.
were speaking about. You said that when Hugh Jackman turns into a werewolf, I would go so far as to call him
I
beautiful.
never said Hugh Jackman. I said it. Also, I made it very clear.
Hugh Jackman's pretty beautiful as far as men go.
Yeah, he is. He's a handsome
Yeah.
man,
But
So by
apparently, because you said
extension-
he's beautiful,
which is
you
fine
want
to
fuck
say
him.
because he's not an animal.
What if you said it was a handsome animal?
Is that all right? What verbiage am I allowed to use
I
to
call my
describe
cat
an animal
handsome.
that is like extremely aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing as an animal? Like if I see like like a lion, oh, that's a beautiful animal. I'm not allowed to say beautiful anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. But you didn't say that's a beautiful.
I did.
animal. You said I would.
Right.
No, you didn't. The way you said it.
I'm
Was
Wait,
gonna-
the way you heard it
We're
was
gonna put
weird.
this to bed. We're gonna put this to bed. And what's about to
Put
happen
him to bed.
is
Couple of D's, man. Bam,
in
bam.
the edit. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take the soundbite of what Grant said, and I'm gonna
Okay.
put it after this with no context, and we're not gonna say anything more about it.
When Van Helsing becomes a werewolf, he's beautiful as an animal. You see a wolf, it's like that's a beautiful animal.
And I'll put a poll.
Yeah,
on,
we're gonna- yeah.
You can do polls in Spotify. so I'll
Unbelievable!
put a
You can
poll.
do polls in Spotify. What will they think of next?
That's fucking amazing.
Speaking of what gets thought of next,
Yeah.
would it be fair to say that we should go into the segment that we thought should go next?
Hold on, I have one more note
Okay.
that I would like to read.
Consider my horses held.
Actually, it's not even a note, but I do have one more note, but I'll get to it in a minute. Steven Dorff is good in this.
That's right.
Like he's not for what it is. Like he's chewing some scenery. He's
Yeah, I mean everybody's
holding
pretty
that
good.
child and yapping, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. I see you, buddy. Good job.
I think
Steven
in
Dorff, is what
general
I'm
the
saying.
performances in this are all very consistent. I think they all hit the vibe. They all hit similar vibes, and they all clearly knew what they were doing and what they were going for.
Yeah.
There was good. It's good. It's
I
well
agree.
directed. At the end of the day, it's a well directed film.
Somehow, yeah, because having seen LXG, not good. That one, it's bad. So when Deacon Frost and Blade are standing across the street while Deacon Frost is holding a child and he's
He
just
fucking
they're kinda
launched
going
it
at
through
each
a
other.
fucking stand. She hits that.
He does. But before that, he says, and I'm quoting here, "Spare me the Uncle Tom routine." Can he say that?
I mean,
is he allowed
I
to say
guess
that?
if you're a racist,
He's a racist vampire. We've already.
I don't know.
established it.
As we established, these Draculas
a
are
lot
kind
of
of
those Draculas
racist.
are
so-
racist. Also, I don't think he likes Blade. And if someone's trying to kill you,
Oh, really? What gave you that
like
impression?
if someone's,
I'm not sure I picked up on that.
I think like if someone,
Oh.
if there's two people who are at a level of dislike of each other that they're actually trying to literally kill one another, what one says to
Yeah,
another
they
is
can
kind
be
of irrelevant.
racist.
They shouldn't be racist.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be trying to kill each
Right.
other. I don't think
Does
the
it
other person's going
mitigate
to
the
get.
racism if you truly despise the other person?
No, it doesn't mitigate the racism, but like you can't elevate it from where it already is. Like he's already going to kill you.
I
You
understand.
being racist now is not going to change
Yeah.
that. He
I
can't
see.
kill you
So
again.
you're saying he can
Yeah,
say
he's
that
getting away with it, you know
officially.
what I mean?
Grant is endorsing the racist
I'm
Dracula.
saying that if the house is already on fire, what does it matter if I throw a little gasoline on it? It's
That's right, I
already
suppose.
ablaze.
It'll make the
If
fire
not, if
worse.
it's already totally ablaze, this house is gone, written off.
I think if you were to say something racist and you didn't have a blood vendetta against the person, that definitely makes the racism worse because then you mean it out of spite.
Yeah, and now there might be a blood vendetta.
Then you're being racist. If you're saying it out of spite towards somebody that you despise with every figment of your being and want to kill, then it's more just a manifestation of your hatred towards a person than a hatred of who they are.
I see.
It makes the racism more genuine when you don't want to actually physically kill the other person, I feel. Because then it's
So you're saying
racism for racism's
it's
sake.
less. Right, you're saying it's less racist. It's more just I hate this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
black
still
guy
racist, don't get me wrong. It's not
versus
something you
he
should be
hates
saying.
all black people.
But, yeah, there's layers here.
I think it's racist in the way that he doesn't think he's racist, and because what he means is he's an Uncle Tom as in to the vampires. You're actually a vampire, but you're acting like a human.
Yeah.
But he also is aware that he's black, so he's like, I'll say Uncle Tom because he'll get the reference.
Correct, yeah.
He's like, yeah, you're racist.
Yeah.
It's like when fucking I meet someone and they insist on fist bumping me after handshaking everyone else. I'm like, motherfucker, I can shake hands. I know how to do it.
I'm going to do that to you next time just to get you going.
I don't mind it, but it's always like in some fucking official capacity or something. I don't know. Weird stuff.
Official capacity. You walk into your local MPs.
Well, no, one of the people who fist bumped me was the fucking crown. It was in the fucking Commonwealth Games. The fucking Prince of Malaysia fist bumped me after shaking everyone else's hand.
That's pretty funny.
And he fucking gave me, they put the fucking knuckles up. I'm like, all right, man. I was like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm just here filming. I'm going home after this.
All right, man.
Hey, man.
Oh, goodness.
Good stuff.
We did neglect how good the action is in this. He does some good fightings. He's breaking fucking legs. He's cutting people up. He's ripping throats out. There's a man on the ground who he just keeps kicking in the balls until eventually kicks him in the balls so hard he gets air from lying down. It's not like he was stood legs spread and he got a run up. He kicked the man from prone to the air by his balls.
The action is great. It's very creative and it's very kinetic as well. Like everything feels very like.
There is one bit that's not kinetic because there is a bit where him and a vampire just trade spin kicks and don't connect for about.
That's
10
so
seconds, which is
absolutely exceptional.
amazing.
The best part of the movie. Yeah, one of the best parts.
If there are certain dominants, who's the better spin kicker?
Yeah. Yeah, it's posturing.
Yeah.
They're like
Blade.
stag
He wins.
beetles.
Blade spin kicks the shit out of him. And is that the one he gets kicked behind his balls? It's around there.
I'm not sure because I was asleep.
It should have been.
And he rips one's throat out and then throws the throat in another guy's face. And the guy's like, oh! And then he punches him again before he can recover from the disgust of getting a throat in his face.
I like how he just shoots them with guns. I appreciate that. I like when anything supernatural is just you shoot it with a gun.
Aye.
And I get that he's got like silver bullets or whatever, but
No, garlic filled, I believe. Silver.
no, well, he said silver hollow points,
hollow points
garlic
filled with
infused
garlic.
silver hollow
Unreal.
points or something.
He puts the work in.
Unreal.
Yeah.
He's a craftsman. He's making fucking silver,
true, yeah.
whole silver steaks.
No, he's not, because he's not a thinker. He said Whistler makes all the weapons, and I
After
use
Whistler
them.
dies, you see him making his bullets and steaks and shit like that. Remember when he
So he
cuts the
knew how
roots
to-
off his
Yeah,
tree?
but that's because Whistler told him how to do it. He
I'm
left
not
a
saying
very
he didn't get
detailed
told how
thing.
to do
If
it.
I die, Blade, this is what you do step by step, because I know you can't remember how to do it, because
All
you're
I'm
an
saying
idiot.
is, someone give me a piece of paper telling me I make bullets and silver steaks. I wouldn't be able to do it on my first try.
He's been watching intently. That's what happens. Whistler makes all these things, and Blade sits with cross-legged on a countertop, just staring him down.
He's definitely the man in the chair. But I think Blade can make his own bullets. That was in his bedroom. He had that shit set up in
Yeah,
there the
he's
whole
capable.
time.
He's capable. He's not a thinker,
That was his
but he's
practice
still
station.
capable.
Baby's first bullet making machine, and he was finally like, "Well, I guess I have to do it now."
Sometimes
'cause
he needs an
Whistler's
extra
dead.
bullet here and there, and he can't be bothered going up the road.
Out here not giving Blade his flowers. The man can make a bullet.
The man can make a bullet.
Man can shoot a bullet.
He can
That's his
shoot
flowers.
a bullet,
for
he can
me.
take a bullet, he can make a bullet.
It does all add to it. It does all add to
Yeah.
it, I think.
And I love that the thing they do in all vampire things, and they insist that vampires hiss. It's fucking hilarious to me. These are just human beings that now drink blood, and so they... like, where did that come from?
Yeah, but they're weirdos. There's some weird humans that do hiss
It's
like
true.
cats. They're just
Yeah.
weirdos, man.
Yeah, and those are the ones who would probably opt in to get bit by vampires.
It's true.
Bet you,
And they're a bit
that
racist.
Venn diagram crosses over quite a bit.
The furry in there. I think it's
Well,
furries.
not necessarily furry. I don't think.
He didn't
I
say
don't
that.
think every
Whoa.
furry hisses, and I don't think every hisser is a furry.
I don't think every... Yeah, I don't think
I'm
every
just
furry
saying, of
is-
the people who hiss, I think a large percentage of them would also want to be vampires. And I think Tumblr's to blame for that.
But the kind of
Yeah.
people who walk around is like, inside, I'm a wolf, and they wear like a wolf tail out in public and shit.
Aye.
Those are the
Some
kind of
folk
people
are
who's like,
that.
if someone could turn
They
me into a
would hiss.
werewolf, I would. And they do hiss, and they bark and shit.
Oh yeah, they'll do
Ow.
it. Yeah, but I'm saying not everybody who barks or hisses is a furry. Some of them are just fucking
Strange.
dumbass kids on the internet.
It's true.
And as I say, they went on Tumblr.com and it radicalised them.
But not in a productive way.
Not in a productive type of radicalisation. In a I want to be fucked by a vampire and turned into a vampire or something. I'm not really sure what they're all about.
If you're guaranteed to get turned into a vampire, would you accept being his gopher?
His
That's
what?
a better sell.
His gopher.
His gopher.
Go for
As
what?
in, exactly. Whoever the fuck he tells you, mate.
Go for milk. Go for blood. Go for
Go
whatever.
for
he
Blade.
wants.
That's what he says when he
Go
picks
for
up the
Blade.
phone. Go for Blade.
Go for Blade. Yeah, very good, very good. But aye, maybe. I think in the interpretation of vampires as they are in this film, I think I could maybe be sold on the idea because you're not immortal. It's the immortality that does it for me.
You're just long.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to. Long lived is one thing. I think after a couple of generations, you'd just be like, this is fucking miserable.
can't go outside though in the day.
I didn't go outside during the day.
Yeah, you do for your
During
job.
the day. Nah, but I wouldn't need a job if I was a vampire.
Why
Plus,
not?
you don't be going out
Because
at
if they
night.
come to fucking evict me for no paying, arrest me for no paying my council tax,
You
I'll just
leave them.
rip them to bits with my bare hand.
That's fucking dinner. That's DoorDash.
Yum yum. More council workers.
They're not bulletproof. They could just shoot you with a gun.
Yeah, but not with
any
normal
fucking
bullets. They ain't gonna do shit.
Fucking council doesn't rock up with a gun.
No, but I'm saying you kill the first council tax collector. They send it,
Armed police,
eventually
and then you just
all
get missing.
roads lead to the armed police storming your
Armed police ain't
boat.
gonna
That-
do shit. They ain't got silver bullets.
I could just wait around the corner
Normal
and
bullets don't do
karate
nothing.
chop them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they still do something.
No, they'd just be a bit
then they'd
sore.
be like, he's dead. He's dead. He'd put his hand to his ear. He'd be like, he's dead. Man, target eliminated. And then I would rise up and go, and I would bite him on the neck. And then they would all die. It would cut to a shot outside, and there would be like gunfire flashes in the windows.
Yeah.
And then I'd be licking my lips. And I'd walk out into the night, and I'd go, "Let the games begin."
He wasn't a Dracula, I don't think, when he said that. Was he?
Oh.
I can't remember. I've not seen that movie. I've just seen that
movie.
bit, and I know Dracula gets an iPad.
Let the games begin.
We should have watched that movie.
I tell you what, we should let begin before the runtime of this podcast gets even more obtuse. Given that I'm gonna have to edit the fucking thing as
Best
usual.
bit, worst bit.
In nomine Patris et Filii.
Best bit, worst bit. Best bit, worst bit. The bit in which we talk about the best and worst.
Wait,
Not in that order.
should I do reviews first?
Make them quick.
I mean, we've already got. Ah, go on then. Go on then.
All right.
Hit the reviews.
Not very many good reviews for this, I'm going to be honest. It's mostly just the letterbox pish where people think they're funny, but they're not. So I mostly just try to, find bad ones. For example, this review from Alex Todd Zombie Emoji. 2 stars, some of the worst effects I've ever seen. That cannot be true.
No.
They're not that bad.
Oh, I mean, like, if you're going into this, a film that came out in 1998 and going to complain about CGI in it, then you just don't really understand history, do you?
Yeah.
Like,
And it's also-
it's low hanging fruit to go in on the fucking CGI. I mean, obviously, I've said
Especially
that,
in a
shit,
New
but,
Line
like
film.
in a good way. Aye, like you're just not You're not giving this film. You're not going in with the correct mindset if that's what you come out with. Really, like pathetic.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Shit take.
4 stars here with a heart from Jordan Beaumont Anderson. Just says, I bet vampires smell like pennies.
They probably would.
Yeah, lots of
I
iron
agree.
in there. Metal.
Aye. Too much iron in the blood.
Here we've got half a star from Len. Who
Len.
TF thought that someone would like to see a grown-ass man kiss his mom in that way? IDC, she's a vampire. And you
I
know
mean,
what,
he's
Len?
saying what we're all thinking.
You're
He
right.
he didn't
The
kiss
half
his
a
mom.
star is
Half a star is a
wrong,
bit brutal.
but
But he didn't even
I
kiss his
agree.
mom.
no,
He
Grant.
feels strongly about incest.
Listen to what Len is saying. This isn't Grant's reviews.
Len's probably
okay?
kissed his
Simmer
own
down.
fucking-
This is Len's review.
Len wishes he could
Yeah,
kiss his
that's-
mom. She fucking gave him up for the
Oh,
shit
okay.
takes that he had as a baby.
We don't know that about him.
I know him.
They can't be unfair.
Okay, you don't know Len.
I've
We
decided
don't know
for
Len.
him.
Len feels very strongly about mother.
Len, if it turns out I'm your long lost brother, I'll give you up again.
I've got 2 reviews left. Would you like the 4-star one or the 2-star one
4.
first?
4, please.
The 4
End on
first.
a low.
Okay. This is from Cinema Strikes Back, 4 stars with a heart, and it says, Blade ist cool, Deacon ist ein Emporkommling.
Very fitting. Jawohl.
Excellent.
I don't know what Emporkommling means, but I got the rest of it. And then 2 stars here to finish off from Jizz Monkey,
Great name.
and it says, good nourishment for a dung beetle.
That's
And I thought-
that's quite.
Do dung beetles eat poop? Don't they just push it around?
Well,
They eat it as well, and
Yeah.
they lay eggs in it.
Do they?
do.
Okay.
That poop is their life.
That was a very astute review. That was a very
Yeah. creative way to be wrong.
Aye. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't agree with the
But also,
content,
like,
but I do think that it was
2
well
stars. I
executed.
wouldn't call a 2-star movie shit, would I?
No, well,
like-
see, that's the age-old thing where anything, like, like a 4 out of 10 is something so terrible that it's completely irredeemable, and a 7 out of 10 is just bad.
Yeah, it's
Like,
bullshit.
Yeah.
The stupid
that's
person's
true.
way of viewing a 10-point rating system.
Very true.
Well, once again, we've proven that nobody on Letterboxd has any clue what they're talking about. Thank you for that.
Correct.
You're welcome.
And now, we move back to the segment that we started already. It's best bit, worst bit.
In nomine Patris et Filii.
Best bit, worst bit. That's right, Lister. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten. Who would like to give their worst bit first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
It's just the some of the effects aren't very good.
Yeah,
Or
that's
CGI.
Is that you,
that
Lenny?
is
You piece of shit.
fucking Len at it again.
No, it wasn't. Was that Len?
I
that
think it
said
was
that?
No,
fucking
Len
Len.
was in on the mother-daughter.
No, Len was the one who didn't
mother-son.
like the
Oh
mom
yeah,
kiss.
Len's the one. His mom doesn't want him. That was the other one.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't know that about Len. No, it's most of them are good. Some of the CGI bullets and the CGI blood don't look very good.
Yeah,
Probably
fair
the
enough.
worst bit of this movie.
And it's true, they don't. They're old.
I'll go next. For me, my worst bit is, as I mentioned, some of the interlinking plot is just fucking fluff to me. It's a bit white noisy. Which, while the rest of the film is exceptional at what it is, I think that does knock it down quite a bit in my estimations. I think that's why I'm not quite as hot on Blade in general as either of you are. It kind
That's
of
fair.
the interlinking plot is more of a fault for me than
That's fair. That's fair.
Did you give it stars?
Yes.
I will have done.
You get 3.5
Bear in mind, I
and
was
me and
probably
you gave it 4.
fresh off the back of fucking Thor 2 when I watched this. so no, Thor 2 is good. Thor 1's the shit one. Thor 2 is better than everybody comes out with.
No.
It is.
I fell asleep during that movie. That movie's dire.
Then you're not allowed to review it.
What if I don't like it? I can't review it.
'Cause
You
fell
sound like a
asleep. You
real
haven't-
Marvel
You
fan
haven't
now.
seen the whole thing, have you?
No, I fell asleep during my second or third viewing.
Well,
of it.
yeah, I mean, it was my first viewing, and I was like, that was alright. That was better than I expected it to be. Much like all the ones that people have said was shit. Apart from the Marvels, that was shit.
It's like every Marvel movie where you were like, I hate these and I will never watch them, and then you watch them and they're like, actually, they're good.
Yeah, well, most of them. Thor 1 isn't one of those.
Yeah, Thor 1's a bit.
Thor
boring.
1's dire. Thor 1's
It is boring.
one of the worst.
The Destroyer's in it though. It's cool seeing that thing.
Destroyer's cool.
And his face.
But we're not
opens
talking
up.
about that movie. We're talking about worst bit, Grant. So give us your worst bit.
My worst bit, which isn't even a worst bit. I just think Deacon Frost is a weak villain.
Yeah, alright, fair
Like I don't.
enough.
He's well acted. He's a fine character. I just think like he's kind of boring. He's just a normal vampire. Like all the
Aye.
other ones he's killed. It's just that this one happens to wear like his shirt's a bit more unbuttoned.
And then again, though, he inspired pretty much every main villain in every work of vampire stuff up until about
Afterwards.
2011. Like, just a petulant child vampire who thinks he knows better than all the older vampires. Or
Yeah.
similar.
I just don't think he's a super. He's good. I like him. I don't dislike him. I just think there's cooler villains. Like if he was like fighting Ghost Rider, you'd be like that's fucking neat. But he's fighting just like some guy.
I think that then if they ever make, I think they should just scrap the whole MCU Blade, whatever they've got going on
Yeah,
there.
I think it has
Uh,
been
it
scrapped.
will.
The
Don't
whole
worry.
4 times.
It
They
hasn't
will.
been
Yeah,
officially.
they're scrapped
but
already.
Yeah,
But-
it might as well be.
I think they should rebuild it from the ground up, and it should be directed by the guy who did the Raid.
Oh man, imagine that. That'd be
Aye,
fucking
that'd be
sick.
fucking quality.
And just have
Imagine
him
that.
going
And
into
it's
like a
like
big
it's got
vampire
fucking
nest.
Ghost Rider showing up and fucking
Yeah.
Daredevil and
Yeah.
Spider-Man and
Just
shit.
fucking
That'd be
Midnight
fucking
Suns,
quality.
Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange
Knight.
and all them. Yeah, Moon Knight and shit.
That'd be a good way of bringing Moon Knight back into
And
it.
it's just fucking like it's literally like the Raid. They're in a fucking bottom of a tower block. As they get to the top, it's full of vampires. Go, and they're just
That sounds
fucking
rad.
mashing people up.
Good stuff.
We should do the Raid.
Good stuff, everyone. Aye, we could do the Raid. Because that Tom Hardy one that just came out through the same director
Oh, from the Raid director.
on Netflix. Aye, on Netflix there's that Tom Hardy movie, Havoc I think it's called, just came out.
Huh.
So we could. We actually do have justification for doing the Raid next week, but we'll see. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, if it's not Van
Yeah.
Helsing, we'll do the Raid.
In the meantime, give us your best bit, because we snake.
Snake, well, fucking, it's the opposite of that. It's fucking Blade, isn't it? It's literally him. Wesley Snipes is Blade.
Aye.
You think about Blade, that's who the fuck it is. They got sticky fingers to do it. Even Mahershala Ali, who I think is dope and would be a great Blade, I'm like, it's not Wesley Snipes. So I know he's too old to do it. I know it's a very set in your ways kind of thing to do it. But that is it. That he's literally what you think of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
and he does it well.
He is to Blade what Hugh Jackman is to Wolverine.
Yeah, he's just
where
the guy.
they're just a completely irreplaceable actor.
Yeah,
It would not be the same without him.
And it's just in the style, like you know, they won't just like lean into the '90s fucking high top weird pointy fade with the tribal tattoos. They'll change it, but they just lean full into him being a fucking guy.
I think there is room for a Blade coming out nowadays. I think there is room for the aesthetic to change.
Yeah.
I would allow
this film is intrinsically intrinsically from the time that it was created.
Well, this is one of the classic cases of a movie comes out and the comics change after it, because Blade originally was British, not American, and obviously didn't look and didn't have powers. He was just a guy who couldn't be turned into a vampire because he was bitten by.
Always trying to ice skate uphill.
A movie we definitely will watch at some point, Morbius.
Yeah, it was Morbius.
That's why he couldn't be turned into a vampire. But he didn't have any of the powers. Like he was just a British guy who killed vampires. So obviously this movie I like this version of the character better. It's a little more interesting.
It's way cooler.
But
yeah.
When the MCU version, when the MCU Blade does eventually finally come out in whatever form it comes out in, does that when we watch Morbius?
Sure. If that movie comes out before we're not all dead or incapable of recording a podcast, we will watch Morbius.
I've already watched Morbius. Do I have to do it again?
You would have to do it again.
Huh,
if Grun had to watch
I'd
Borderlands
already seen
twice.
Borderlands, mate.
That's cruel.
Didn't give me that.
I mean, once you've watched Blade, you'll see how much of a crueler things you've asked of me.
Morbius.
Whoever it is, Morbius, yeah. Fucking, because that is... Ooh-wee.
Yeah, bad.
It's Morbin time.
Maybe we can convince them to re-release it in theaters again.
Just
Say, we
for
want to
us.
record a
Yeah,
podcast
I
on it.
can't
Can you
believe
put it
they
back in
re-released
cinemas, please.
Fucking Morbius,
my
man.
my favourite thing
and
that's
then,
ever
and
happened
then
in
nobody
all
went
of
to
cinema.
see it.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
fucking amazing.
Sorry, man.
Grun, your best bet.
Anyway, my best bet. I mean, I can't just say Blade as well.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can.
But
you can do whatever you
that's
want.
what
It's our
the truth is.
podcast.
You know, you want it to be fresh. I mean, by extension of that, I think the aesthetic is just absolutely impeccable. The vibes, the aesthetic / vibes are just absolutely impeccable all the way through. It's very consistent. It's as Elijah was saying earlier, it's almost a period piece. It's definitely a stylistic piece, that's for sure, because jokes aside, that's not at all what the 90s looked like outside of very specific subcultures.
Yeah.
So they went for something and it was rad. And it inspired
doesn't feel dated
everything going forward. Yeah, that as well is the cultural impact and the impact that it had specifically on media going forward is just exceptional. It's a frontrunner. A visionary directorial piece from acclaimed director. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Stephen Norrington. I also wouldn't use
Stephen
that word.
Norrington, acclaimed director, auteur Stephen Norrington.
My best bit is all the insane lines and line reads, just so good. And Whistler, Rip Chris Christopherson, one of the goats.
Yeah,
Love him.
really is.
Also one of the best songwriters of all time.
Well said. Well said. Right, well, so I think it's safe to say that we all enjoy Blade lots. And listener at home, if you've not seen Blade, then really, I don't understand why you listen to this. So fair fucks to you for still going. You're a real trooper, Danny. On that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up. We still don't really have much of a way to wrap up because, as far as I'm aware, we still don't have a Twitter account to plug or anything
Haven't
like
done
that. But if you'd like to know more of what we think about films, then you could check out our respective Letterboxds, but not Elijah's because it has his surname in it.
Yep, correct. If you want to hear what I think about movies, listen to the next podcast.
Yeah.
Or send me a text, because odds are you have my number or have some way to contact me if you're listening to this.
You can find me, I believe my username is Crun on Letterboxd. That might be right. That might not be. I don't even know how to check. I look on my profile and I don't see anything.
Do you want me to tell you? It is just Crun.
It's Grandmaster Con.
Yours is just Crun.
There you go.
Capital K.
We told each other.
Here we go.
Capital K, Run.
Yep.
Grandmaster Kong.
Yep, he's done it for me.
That's Grandmaster Kong. Like King Kong.
Yep.
And like Grandmaster Flash. 2 characters.
That are both cool.
1 name.
Put together.
1 guy.
Easy to remember, because I like
podcasts.
Godzilla more than King Kong. That's how you should remember it.
There you go. That's how you remember that.
Anyway, we'll catch
The
you next week.
Grandmaster over King Kong would be Godzilla. Short. Or Grandmaster Kong for short.
What is this? Why is this still going?
Brilliant. What a terrible outro for a terrible podcast made by 3 terrible people.
Whoa.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. You've been a terrible
Only Elijah's
audience.
terrible.
That's
I'm
right.
a good boy.
We'll see you next week, where we talk about another film that has nothing to do with anything.
Yep.
Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ciao.